Hey guys, thanks for whacking on that thumbnail. This weekend I saw Everest, starring Jason Clarke, Josh Brolin, and Mr. Jake Gyllenhaal. And guys, this is with the K review. I'm Victor, and you know what? I think this is Sam Worthington's second movie that he's done great acting in. One more, he gets a toaster.
With a K review.
It's VIC?
No, it's with a K.
Oh. So this movie is based on the 1996 Everest disaster that happened. Now, when I think of a movie that's based off of a disaster, I automatically think about Titanic. And we only know that Titanic happened through, people's true stories and, films people just won't let go. And like I've said a lot of times before, Hollywood doesn't really care about whether they get it right or they get it wrong. They just care if we go to the theaters. But in this movie, I can say that I was really impressed by a lot of things in this movie, how it was un-Hollywooded, yet it was wooded. Okay, let me explain. In the movie, you have Jason Clarke, who plays Rob Hall, and he's taking a bunch of people up the side of Mount Everest, and they're just a bunch of average, normal people. Now, what I really liked about this movie was that it doesn't, get right into the situation. You don't have them, on the mountain, all of a sudden, disaster happens, then they have to kind of crawl through it and so forth. They actually really take their time, which I was really impressed by. I would say, the first hour and 15 minutes of this movie is, a great buildup of all these little different characters. You have Josh Brolin in the movie. He plays, the sarcastic Texan, and he has a little bit of strife with Jason Clarke's character. I think that's how you're supposed to do strife. And then you also have Jake Gyllenhaal in this movie. He plays this hippie kind of mountain climber type of guy. And really, it's his character in the movie that I'm not sure if I liked or disliked his character, because you almost could put anybody in that role. And it just feels like, since Jake Gyllenhaal does a lot of independent movies, I think that's kind of why they put him in it. But what really impressed me about Everest was not so much the characters. They were good, but it really has to do with the mountains and the shots that they had of Everest. I don't think I've really seen a movie that when you get done with a character scene that it goes off and it kind of gives this round shot of the mountain and the weather and stuff, that I felt more drawn into it. Every shot that they had was so incredible and so expansive that I enjoyed seeing this on the theater screen and in 3D, made everything kind of jump out a little bit at me and made me feel like I was actually on the mountain. And what's also kind of interesting about this movie that it's directed by Balthazar oh man, shit. I don't know how to say that name. Anyway, he hasn't really done a lot of other types of different movies. He did the movies Two Guns and Contraband, and I didn't see Contraband, and Two Guns was just okay. But in this movie, he does an incredible job just directing and doing his shots just right with his cinematographer. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I enjoyed the way he pictured these characters. The way he kept things moving in the movie was just really awesome. The negative actually in this movie would be that there's no real central character in this movie that you kind of grab onto and that you kind of really follow. It really comes down to Brolin's and Clarke's character, because towards the end of the movie, that's where the focus really is. But I did enjoy the other characters in the movie. Everybody had this amazing supportive role. Even Keira Knightley in this movie, she did an amazing job for only having a few scenes. You cared about her connection with Jason Clarke's character, with them being husband and wife. All the other characters in the movie, they do have a presence there, and you do attach to some of their characters, but what's really important is that when characters die or when certain things happen, it's not like it's overdone. When it happens, if you blink, you're like, oh shit, they died. And that's really where this movie succeeds at, is that it brings you in so much that it doesn't really need to do all those amazing special effects and all those other things. You feel like you're on the mountain. You feel like you are attached to the whole group of characters, and you would just sit and enjoy it. This is a movie that I would say you need to see on the big screen to really get the whole effect of it. So I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 K review. Like I said, go see this in theaters. Make sure to rent this when it comes out. Make sure you watch it on a big screen TV though. And as always, thanks for watching my review. I really appreciate all the viewers, subscribers I do have. Make sure to whack me right here or whack up there if you want to see any of my past reviews. Make sure to leave a whacked out comment below and let me know what is your favorite disaster movie and who is your favorite actor or actress to have in a disaster movie. Let me know down below. And yeah, never forget, if you don't like what you're watching, you can always turn it off. But thanks for coming back and seeing me.